Cleveland is buzzing with speculation, and for once, it's not about a losing streak or a controversial play. It's about a quiet but undeniable shift taking place behind the scenes, one that could change the Browns' future forever. The talk around town is that the team is starting to rewrite the narrative surrounding their most intriguing young prospect, Shadore Sanders. For months, there's been chatter that Shedeur was nothing more than a headline magnet, a player whose fame exceeded his actual role. But that's beginning to change. And this time, it's not just fan talk. Insiders say the Browns themselves are behind it. They're rebranding the entire story, clearing the path for Shadore to rise when the moment arrives. What's unfolding inside the Browns? Organization feels deliberate. Reports from sources close to the team suggest that the franchise is laying serious groundwork to prepare Shedeur for a future starting role. The idea isn't just to make him another backup quarterback sitting on the sidelines, it's to protect his image, restore his momentum, and make sure the fans are ready when his name is finally called. For the first time, there's a real sense that Cleveland wants to build around him. The organization is carefully crafting the narrative, moving from criticism to optimism, and ensuring that when Shedeur finally steps on the field, there won't be any baggage holding him back. This new direction isn't random. It seems that owner Jimmy Haslam himself may be the architect behind the plan. Before the season began, he openly hinted that both rookies, Dillon Gabriel and Shadore Sanders, would get their opportunities to prove themselves. At the time, many brushed it off as standard preseason talk. But now, with Dillon's recent struggles and Shadore's reputation being quietly rebuilt in the media, Haslam's words are starting to sound a lot more intentional. It's as if the Browns are saying, "We told you this was coming. Just wait." The timing couldn't be more telling. After the Browns' heartbreaking 21-17 loss to the Vikings, attention quickly turned to rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel. He entered the game full of confidence, ready to prove that he could handle the spotlight. But as the minutes ticked away, so did his composure. Despite throwing 2 touchdowns, Gabriel faltered when the game was on the line. His accuracy slipped, his decisions grew shaky. And under relentless defensive pressure, he failed to close out what could have been a career-defining win. It was the kind of finish that leaves fans wondering if they've placed their faith in the wrong rookie, and the criticism came fast. Mary Kay Cabot, never one to hold back, took 2 social media moments after the loss. Her post was subtle but sharp, a reminder that while Gabriel had his moments, he still couldn't get it done when it mattered most. She pointed out his struggles under late-game pressure and his inability to deliver a final touchdown when everything was on the line. It wasn't just an analysis. It was a statement. And too many fans. It felt like the beginning of the end for Gabriel's honeymoon phase in Cleveland. What made her comments even more cutting was their context. Just days earlier, Gabriel had taken veiled shots at Shadore Sanders, insisting that he didn't care about outside distractions and was focused solely on the team. It was a subtle dig, the kind that made headlines and drew applause at the time. But in the wake of his loss, those same words rang hollow. The confidence, the leadership talk, the all-about-the-team mentality, it all seemed to crumble when the pressure was on. Shedeur, who had been quiet throughout the drama, suddenly didn't look so overrated after all. By the time the final whistle blew, Gabriel's shortcomings had become the story, and the conversation had shifted toward what could have been if Sanders had been in uniform. Analysts began to speak up. Rex Ryan, who had previously criticized Shedeur for his work ethic, suddenly changed his tune. He argued that the Browns missed an opportunity by keeping Joe Flacco as the backup instead of giving Sanders that role. In his view, having 2 young quarterbacks learning side by side, Gabriel and Sanders, would have been a smarter move. Ryan didn't mince words, calling the decision a mistake and implying that Shadore's presence could have changed the entire game's trajectory. It was a surprising reversal from Ryan, a man known for his blunt honesty. But his comments fit into the bigger picture. The Browns are clearly setting the stage for something. Every headline, every quote, every subtle media push seems aimed at one outcome: getting the fans ready for the rise of Shadore Sanders. And it's working. The same media that once accused him of being a distraction is now praising his maturity, his patience, and his undeniable potential. Inside the organization, the message is consistent. This isn't about favoritism, it's about the future. Rex Ryan emphasized that Sanders' skill set, his precision, his ability to read defenses, his natural leadership, makes him a unique asset. The Browns see him as a long-term investment, someone who can eventually redefine the team's identity. For now, Gabriel may still be the starter. But every mistake he makes opens the door a little wider for Shad. It's also clear that Cleveland has learned from its past. For decades, the franchise has been haunted by instability at the quarterback position, from draft busts to wasted potential. But this time, the strategy feels calculated. Instead of throwing a young player into chaos, they're building the right foundation first. They're controlling the conversation, protecting his reputation, and ensuring that when Shadore's name is finally called, he's not just another rookie, he's the answer. Fans can already feel it in the air. The tension between the old narrative and the new one is thick. On one hand, there's Gabriel, confident, outspoken, but struggling to prove that he can finish strong. On the other, there's Shedeur, patient, composed, and slowly becoming the quiet hope of Cleveland's future. Each week, that balance tilts a little more in Shadore's favor. The more Gabriel falters, the louder the whispers become. And the more the Browns publicly defend Shedeur, the clearer it becomes that his time is coming. For Shadore Sanders, this is the moment he's been preparing for his entire life. He's no stranger to pressure or expectation. He's the son of Dillon Sanders, a player who thrived in the spotlight and taught his son that greatness isn't just about talent, it's about timing. And right now, it seems like the stars are aligning for Shedeur. The Browns' locker room may not say it out loud, but the writing's on the wall. Every strategic leak, every shift in tone, every quote from analysts like Ryan points to the same conclusion. The Browns are getting ready to make a move. The big question now isn't if Shadore Sanders will play, it's when. And when that moment arrives, the weight of Cleveland's expectations will fall squarely on his shoulders. But judging by how the team is setting the stage, they believe he can handle it. The narrative is changing, and this time, it's not being written by the media, it's being written by the Browns themselves. The organization that once seemed lost at quarterback may finally be crafting a plan with purpose. A plan that could usher in a new era, one built not just on hype, but on potential realized. So football fans, what do you think? Is this all part of a long-term plan to elevate Shadore Sanders into the spotlight? Or is Cleveland jumping too soon, putting unnecessary pressure on a rookie who hasn't taken a single NFL snap yet? Should Dillon Gabriel get more time to prove himself? Or is it time for the Browns to hand the keys to Sanders and see what he can do? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next big story from the world of football.